Every damn day.
Hello, everyone. It's Jerry at the Fledge, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 29. And today we have our good friend Audra from Junk in the Trunk. How you doing today, Audra?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. I had a little incident this morning with a cute, adorable little kitten who grabbed my face and attacked me, and now I got this big lump in my mouth. So excuse me if I'm talking a little sideways today, but...
Well, today we're going to talk about recycling, upcycling, junk in the trunk, and what you do there, how you got there, and the importance of supporting our community, small businesses, and our neighbors. So you want to jump into that?
All right, yeah.
So tell us what Junk in the Trunk is, first of all.
Junk in the Trunk is a business I created after being laid off from a nonprofit. I started it to help keep things out of landfills. A lot of people were offering to give me things, and oh man, my screw up.
No, it's okay. I'm
sorry.
So first of all, how'd you get started with Junk in the Trunk? You had a job before, you were doing community outreach. Tell us about that a little bit, what that transition was like.
I had a lot of people reaching out to give me things for the outreach group, for people that had lost their homes, and we were helping them get into a new home through a Section 8 program, and they were in need of stuff. They had like no items at all to move into their new home. So I had people giving me things, and I was collecting things, and then it was probably 6 months had gone by and I was laid off. And then the same people are still like, hey, I have this couch, I have a table. And that's kind of how Junk in the Trunk started. I mean, people just started giving me stuff or saying, I have all this stuff, and I said, well, I don't have the people to give it to anymore at the time, but, I don't have a job right now, so I could resell it. So I started to resell things, and I was picking things up for free at first, and people were bringing me things. And then it turned into a business from a small amount of stuff to doing full houses. Yeah. Where it looked like people were just walking away from a full house.
So maybe like it could be a hoarder too.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have that as well. But somebody walks away from their house. Maybe they were a renter. There's a lot of things in the house there, and the owner calls you. Is that?
Yep. Yeah. It'd be the owner. Sometimes even the renter, that they have to get rid of it quickly, or they're going to be fined or have to sign another lease. So our clientele is pretty wide. Realtors.
Yeah. And so you get this stuff. And then do you have a store? Is it a physical store? Is it an online store? How does it work? How do you deliver it to people?
If you're in need, you can reach out to us and you can come pick up stuff. Occasionally we can deliver it. Like when we do 31 days of giving, we deliver all those. We'll take them to all the different organizations just so we can kind of meet everybody. But you can reach out if you're looking to buy things from us. We do have a warehouse, and we have a warehouse sale we try to have monthly. Right now we're not doing it monthly to kind of set up a little bit better. And you can set up an appointment as well. We sell a lot on Facebook, and we even sell like on smaller platforms like Mercari. I guess those aren't small, but Mercari and eBay.
Yeah. And so when you sell stuff, you are making revenue for your company. I mean, at the end of the day, you are running a business, right?
Right. Yeah.
And but you talked about your 31 days of giving. Is that always in December?
We've done it for 2 years, and it's been in December, but I am going to do like a smaller version here in May where we're going to do 15 days of giving to kind of clear out some more stuff and just kind of keep the giving going.
Tell us about some of the people or some of the companies that you gave to.
Some of like the small businesses.
Like the Fledge, you gave us stuff.
Oh,
we were
yeah.
one of the days.
Yeah. Let's see. There was, we did, oh geez, there's so many.
I didn't say I was going to ask this question.
Volunteers of America. There was Crystal Ray, the Fledge. We did High Caliber. We gave them a bunch of glass. Geez, there's.
You gave High Caliber?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
everyone else you had listed that is kind of a nonprofit and a social entrepreneur. Oh, we'll talk about that in a second. But High Caliber is interesting. They're great friends of us, and we love them to death. You gave them glass, like for their smash room?
Yeah, for their
nice.
smash room, yeah.
Okay.
Because sometimes glasses sit forever,
Yeah.
so yeah, they can use them. And it was really cool, actually, when we went there. Like, there's a guy who does all kinds of art with the stuff that people bring, and then they smash it.
Yeah.
So that was cool to see, too.
Yeah.
And, oh, gosh, there was a couple other businesses that we did.
I put you on the spot. Now you made
Oh, no,
a
no,
list
it's okay.
and you forgot people, and I put you in a bad spot. I'm sorry about that. What motivates you? I mean, I think it's a few different things, but let's delve into that.
Well, I enjoy giving back to the community. I also like to, I want to leave. I wanted to have a business that I could make money at, but also be able to leave the world better than I came to it, I guess, found it. Yeah. And I want a business I can do good at as well. And this is Junk in the Trunk is a way I can do that, because I can help small businesses by buying their gift cards to give away when we reach milestones. We're repurposing different weird items. We're recycling and continuing to find more programs to recycle. Yeah. And then we're able to donate to a lot of different organizations.
Yeah. They, what do they say? Recycle, reuse. What's that?
Reduce?
Reduce.
Yeah.
So you say recycling a lot, but it's also reuse and reducing. And I really love the reducing angle of what you do, because tell me about if somebody buys something from you versus ordering it new from an online store or a big chain. How does that impact our community?
Well, it's putting money back into the community, and we're a business that's, one, they're helping support our business, but besides that, I mean, that money is going to then go into other programs that we're trying to support, or we're, buying other gift certificates for other local businesses. So it's kind of, if you're supporting us, then we're supporting the community. Right. And it's a good circle there, good circle of love.
It is a circle of love, and we feel it, and we appreciate that. I'm going to get on, I'm bouncing around a little bit, but you won Mid-Michigan's Social Entrepreneur of the Year. Tell us about that experience.
That it's weird, because I was told by honestly so many people that I wouldn't win.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people. Who told
you that?
Quite a few people in like networking groups and things, and so I almost didn't turn it in. Probably I worked on it for a while, and then 2 days before, I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to, at least going to help me, with writing and all that. Might as well just turn it in. And then when I found out I won, I was like, no way. I'm being punked. I'm being pranked or something. And it was probably one of the most, because the people doubted me, or people did doubt me, it was one of the most powerful things winning that. It felt amazing.
What do you think about people doubting you now? I mean, did that teach you a lesson about how crowds can be wrong?
Oh yeah. I mean, it taught me to believe in myself, that, right. We're doing good things, and people are starting to see it.
That's advice for everyone. Believe in yourself. Not everyone wants your dream to come true, but you do. And make sure you remember that you're your biggest fan.
Yeah.
Did you say that?
Yeah. You need to remember that. And there's always going to be people that are going to doubt you, and you have to believe in yourself, or what's the point? I mean,
well, congratulations on
Thank
winning
you.
that. I think that, do you, what do I want to say? Do you ever get any backlash where, your people are donating things to you, but they're not? And I want to talk about that part of it. And then you're reselling it. Do people ever come at you sideways because of that?
Occasionally they do. And it would be when they want their own price. If say I have something listed for maybe $50 or something, and and it's never going to be retail. If we have a listed for $50, it's worth $150 or something.
Mm-hmm.
We want it to be fair for people, but they'll come in and they'll say, well, I have $10. I'll give you $10. This was free to you. And actually it wasn't free because we had to spend 18 hours cleaning out this entire house and worked overnight, and there's only 2 people.
See, from an entrepreneurial perspective, what I love about your business is you're providing a service on both ends. So you're helping someone clean out a house. I mean, there's one just 2 doors down right now, and he's got a big trash thing. He's probably throwing usable things into that trash, and he's spending a lot of time and work doing that, where you might come in and charge them something to clean that out, but it's because it's worth it, right? What's the question I'm looking for? What's your value proposition throughout the whole process?
Well, one, we make it more affordable for people that couldn't afford the service of, I guess, a full service. Like other companies might charge just $150 just to even show up.
Yeah.
And if we come out there and well, even if there's recycling, that's cheaper than trash. We're going to go through everything and get all the recycling out. And I have all these programs that I can recycle a lot of weird stuff for free. I mean, I just have to ship it, and I get the free shipping label through the program. So getting all that stuff out, that doesn't cost me anything but my time. So I can give them a discount for that.
So when I think about recycling, or I think people think about it, they'll often think about the cardboard, the glass, the plastic that they put in their green container and put it out on the curb. I think you're talking about something bigger and different than that, right?
Yeah, we can recycle shoes. We can recycle shaving razors, balloons, toys. Oh, I mean, I think we're up to 60 odd items that we can recycle now.
What about electronics?
Oh yeah, for sure. Electronics,
Yeah.
we can recycle those. That's probably one of our favorite ones because we can go right to pad. Now it's easy.
Because that's always tough on people, right? Because it's hard to sometimes get rid of. What about a tube TV?
Oh god, tube TVs. Those. We do take them apart because there's a big roll of copper in the back, but the tube actually costs us money to dispose of. So those usually cost about $24. So those are kind of expensive. Yeah. I mean, I consider that expensive.
They get dumped on us from time to time, and I just say $25, $50, $75. There's $100 we're going to have to pay to get rid of this.
Yeah.
So, and those tubes have chromium or something like that in them. So if they burst, it is very, very bad for the person that they break in front of. So I'm sure you're really careful when you're handling those.
Yeah. TVs are my nightmare.
We had a dream that we were going to make desktop particle accelerators, because it's actually that tube is actually an electron ray, and or an electron. You could almost think of it like a gun. But then we thought, we're going to kill ourselves if we do that, so we better not. What's the weirdest thing you've found, recycled, whatever, that came into your process?
Well,
and weird's relative. Sorry.
Well, okay. So weird. Well, I don't know if I told you about the mummified cat before, but one of the houses that we did, one of the first hoarder houses that we did, there was we thought it was a towel, and it ended up being a mummified cat that had been underneath a pile of stuff. So, I mean, that was weird and kind of gross. Actually a little interesting too to see it. And then one of the coolest things that we found is this cane from the 1800s that has we're still researching it, but it has a gold end of it. I'll have to send you a picture of it.
Okay.
And it's has gold at the end, and it's inscribed to a church in New York, one of the first churches in New York. And we're emailing back and forth to the church to try to get more information on it, kind of see what it's worth. And it's not something. This was a cleanup we did for a woman who we did it for free. She had 3 storage units, and she has since passed with no family. So it's not like something that we're like, took from them or anything, because something like that normally we'd probably give back, but because it's so cool. But there's no one to contact too. But that's probably the coolest thing, and I'm waiting to find the history on that. It's oldest.
When you say storage units, that kind of brings a lot of thoughts into my head about, storage units can be very helpful for people, but they can be very predatory on people, right? If you get kicked out of your house and you've got memorabilia that you want to save, or even your furniture, your bed, your clothes, you put it in storage, and then 2 months later you can't afford the payments. I don't know, what's your thoughts on storage units and that whole process?
Luckily we haven't ever done one where someone is going to lose a storage unit. The ones that we've taken part in was a hoarder situation, where she just continued to fill stuff, and then gotten sick where she couldn't handle it anymore. But that situation is quite sad.
I feel like if you got into the situation where it was being taken from somebody, you'd take it and give it to them.
Oh, definitely the stuff that they wanted back. I mean, if there was like personal stuff, I mean, we've tried to give pictures back. We've like personal documents. I always like try to save those for people. I mean, if someone reached out and said, "Oh my gosh, I forgot that there's this, I don't know, war pin. Can you find that?" We will find that.
I go through the clothes sometimes to see if what's in the pockets and that, and I've found keys and pictures and money and all kinds of stuff that I've just put in a pile, hoping that they kind of remember. But sometimes people dump on our porch. I don't think you have I can't deliver stuff to you. We're not going to say where you're at, because I don't want you to go through dumping hell with us. So you don't have a place like people can come and drop off, do you?
They can schedule an appointment, and they can drop off recycling, but it is starting to get a little crazy where like they're shoving other stuff in there that they're not supposed to, like pillows. No pillows, people.
What's the problem with pillows?
Well, I just they're like, for hygiene reasons, like it's hard to repurpose, or I mean, we can make like dog beds or something like that, but it's kind of hard to redo.
I'm going to use the word gross.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So
my pillow's gross. I know that for sure.
Yeah. And like, I mean, I don't know, maybe the Humane Society takes them, but I'm not positive about that. So I wouldn't want to take those. I wouldn't know where to donate them or how to really get rid of them besides throwing them away. And my goal is to try not to throw things away. So,
what do you think is when you look at recycling, or let's talk about upcycling a little bit. How do you upcycle, or how do you help other people upcycle? And what is upcycling? Because everyone might not know.
Well, to take one or take a few different items that might have no use or you want to get rid of, and and you put those items together and you make something creative out of it, whether it be art or something useful. Right now, I'm taking this doll that we've tried to sell it for a while. We tried to give it away. There's a set of 3 of them, and their heads are really big, and we're taking them, we're turning them into like the horror characters that my son is really interested in. So like Sam from Trick or Treat, where because the head's too big to really do anything else. So this doll, it's a caroler doll from used to be in the Meridian Mall, and we're gonna change her up and make them into Halloween characters, and my son's gonna love it.
It sounds awesome and a little bit scary, because dolls are scary.
These ones are, for sure.
We have a free store downstairs, and we have a lot of clothes there. And people bring us, I mean, we have to say no to, like, I don't need swimsuits right now. I need coats. You brought us coats today. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
But we get so many clothes, it really exasperates to me the problem with fast fashion. So we get these clothes, we go through them, we don't want them, they've been in our closet, we've never used them. A lot of people will scoop them up and just throw them away. So then they go in the landfill, or they'll dump them somewhere, right? And even the people that get dumped on, the VOA, places like the Fledge, who am I forgetting? The Salvation Army. And you see these collection centers where they're just jammed full of stuff. And a lot of it might be junk, to play on your words. So in the fashion industry, if we're giving away clothes, we're slowing that down, which means we're not shipping our dollars away. What are some other things that you're having an impact in slowing down that industry maybe a little bit?
You mean
what are the big things you get? Do you get a lot of furniture? Do you get a lot of
things that are hard to get rid of? I mean, like entertainment centers. Although I am trying to, this year I'm going to try to redo more stuff than try to give them away, and we can't give them away, so I'm having to break them up and put them in the trash. Or if they're not, if they're all wood or some real wood, maybe we can burn them. Yeah. But
the problem is they're not real wood.
Oh,
in most cases, right?
Right. Most cases they're not, because if they're real wood, then someone does want them.
And then the screw broke through the cheap wood.
Yeah,
you can't repair it. I know, it's a nightmare. What do you think? How does, when you are helping on both sides there, what's your vision? What's Junk in the Trunk look like in 10 years from now?
Well, there's a few things that I would love to do. One, I would just like to have like a separate nonprofit. And I'd like to have we first have kind of envisioned having like a storage unit or something where like you guys could have a key to it or something and take whatever you want, whenever you want. I would ideally like to leave it open, and anyone, but then, there's damage, someone could damage it or live in it or something,
I think from our perspective, or what we would see, is people would start dumping in front of it and stuff like that too.
That was something that, I was worried about. But I would like to have, even like one of these, houses that are abandoned or something, it could be just a free, but there's issues that could be. But I would like to have, just so the community has access to the items that we get thousands of, that I VOA doesn't want, because they already have 2 shelves worth of glass, but other people could use it, but it might be difficult for them to get to it.
Mm-hmm. So you and we were talking before the show, and I was saying how we're trying to kind of destigmatize free and slow down the fashion industry, really in particular with our clothes. And you were talking about, on the flip side of that, you have wealthy people who come and get things that somebody else might need, and they're just going to try to flip it and make $50 off from it. Where's the strength in our difference there?
Well, I do want things to be used, but and not sit on my shelf and take up space. And so, I struggle with the people of wealth coming to come and take everything new with the tags on the shelves and leave all the not so great stuff. I mean, not that it's not so great, but it's used or a little more out of fashion right now, and leave all that stuff, or the summer stuff right now, for the people that are in actual need. And sometimes it's kind of frustrating. Like, do I bring this up? But I don't want to chase away my following, but also I want stuff to go to people that really need it. Like the people that are starting over, or someone who's had a house fire. Like, I want that clothes to go to people that can't afford clothes. And it's kind of a struggle.
It's very difficult, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in part, you don't want to push people away by saying, show me your paycheck and show me your address and all of that. But also we've got to keep things moving. Because if they get stale, and it just leads to problems. The flow is what you need, right?
Yes.
So do you have a mission statement? And I don't mean to ask you something so formally. And what I'm really trying to detangle a little bit is we talk about the words recycling, upcycling, helping our community. What is it? The environment? Is it the economy? Is it the strength and health of our community? What's the thing that you're really after?
Well, I think our mission statement would probably be, we give your stuff a second life, or something, maybe that kind of form, maybe more professionally.
Yeah.
But
we don't talk like that on the show.
But I guess maybe the environment and community, but I think they probably are equally balanced the same. I want to make a difference where I can help people recycle. It's easier to recycle for them, or to teach them other ways that recycling isn't a burden. And it's actually like, it could make your trash cost cheaper, actually, because there's so many recycling programs out there that are free. And Aaron and I actually last night, because we had so much recycling that we can just take down the street, and then our dumpster gets picked up on Friday morning. We're like struggling to fill that up, and that's a good problem to have.
Don't fill your dumpster. If you own a building, fill your dumpster, no matter what. Do you recycling? So the green containers, people put stuff in them. Sometimes I see trash bags in them. Do you know much about the history of that, the City of Lansing's program? And do you believe that stuff gets recycled?
Well, I struggle with that too, because, I went to Lansing schools like just up until 5th grade. And I remember that there were all the bins, and we were recycling. And then at one time, we found out that the everything was getting thrown away, even the paper. And it was kind of like, they taught us and trained us, all those kids, to do this, and it was getting thrown away. So I do have some concern that it's not all being recycled properly, but also I know that people make money off recycling. So people want to make money off the recycling. So there's that aspect, that if they can make money,
if they can make money, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
There's a bill, or there's a ordinance in Lansing. I think it's called the Pat Lenderman Fair Recycling or something like that. And he's our county drain commissioner. I got to get him on the show. And maybe, have you ever talked to him?
No, actually I haven't.
He started the recycling program in Lansing, and he has some very insightful opinions about it. Keep reusing, keep recycling, keep upcycling, and what was the other? Reducing. Yeah. Quit buying so much damn stuff. So are you effective at doing what you're doing, and how do you know? And I'm asking you this question because I know that you are.
Sometimes it's a struggle knowing whether we're effective or not, because sometimes we come in, we'll donate, like, with 31 Days of Giving, we donated a ton of stuff, but one, we could have donated more, but we couldn't get to it all because we have so much stuff and I couldn't find everything. And then two, there was, it barely made an impact on all the stuff that we did donate. Like we still have so much stuff. And while we are getting rid of a bunch of stuff, it just comes back. So sometimes like, I know that we are, I did have the numbers for some article that we did, but like on how much stuff we had like moved with the square footage space we had, and I don't know those numbers right now off the top of my head, but it just comes back. So it's like, are we making an impact? We are, but it's hard to see it.
What if we jump to the other side and the single mother that you helped, or the family that's getting evicted, or just, needed a bunch of stuff because of a fire? You must have wonderful stories there.
Yeah, we do. And that part feels good, but I wish that we could do more of that. I mean, I feel like that a lot of people that are coming to us are people that, and I hate even saying this, are people that don't really need it. I mean, I want to help people the people that you mentioned, and we do help those people, but they don't come to us enough. And I don't know if it's because they're nervous to, or I don't know. They just don't reach out like I wish they would.
That's a great lead in to how I want to kind of wrap up the show. And that is, what action could people that are watching take? And maybe they have a room full of stuff that they really want to get rid of, but they haven't yet. Maybe they need something. What can you recommend that we do to help the environment and help our community at the same time? What's a small suggestion maybe for each of us?
Well, let's see, a few small suggestions. Well, instead of buying more stuff, I mean, buy secondhand. Give before throwing those things away. Give to, or offer free on a free cycle. Join a free cycle page. Give free to, or offer free on Facebook. Help a neighbor out. Just, this is something I'm struggling with myself, but just think about what other people might be going through and try to be as kind as possible.
Yeah. Empathy and compassion always wins.
Yeah.
Well, love wins, but it comes from those two things. I am always shocked. Like I'm thinking about putting something in the trash can, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to set this on the curb for the day and see what happens. And almost all of the time it's gone. Either somebody needs it, or they see the value in the scrap or whatever. And it's easy for us here because, I mean, we're in a fairly poor neighborhood. So if someone comes and scraps something, they're going to use the money for rent, or they're going to use it for a car payment or whatever. A little different than I think what you're talking about. What do you think? Do you think people realize how much value they have just sitting around and how much they could help?
No, I don't think they realize it. Or, well, I mean, even just your suggestion of setting on the curb, like that's beneficial because that's somebody it's not going to end up in the trash. If somebody can use it, right. And that's great. I sometimes I think when someone is struggling, I've like offered, or I've said, well, do you have anything you don't need anymore? Mm-hmm. Could you list that, or have a friend list that for you, like on Facebook, because that's money, that's your stuff is money. And that's one thing I'm trying to do is like, I'm trying to tell people that you can use stuff in other ways. Like, we did that charity auction. Mm-hmm. We took stuff, sold it, and then we donated the money. There's things that you can, your stuff is money. Get creative. Everyone. Yes.
So how do people reach out to you? How do they interact with you? Websites and...
we have, you can contact us through our website. You can, Facebook, I have Facebook on my phone, so I reach out, or I can respond pretty quickly that way.
What's your website? Let's tell the listeners.
Facebook, or it's Junk in the Trunk cleanouts.com.
All right. And Facebook?
Just Junk in the Trunk. Junk in the Trunk cleanout/finders, I think.
And we will be posting these links during
you.
the show tomorrow. And so what would you like to take us out with? What's the last thing here?
Well, I appreciate you having me on here. One thing, I think we're maybe 500 likes away from reaching our goal to do a new community project. Like last time we cleaned the rivers and, cleaned a river, Grand River, over by Wakusta. So like, we're looking for a new place to like either clean up or, I don't know, help us out with that.
All right. So get to your Facebook page and like something.
Yeah.
All right. We'll put that in the comments as well. And thank you so much for coming on the show. Without great guests, I don't really have a show. And congratulations again for being Social Entrepreneur of the Year. I'm envious. I think it's a beautiful thing.
Well, congratulations to you for the City Pulse Award. Gosh.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you. All right, everyone. Love you very much. Another great person and a great company doing great things to strengthen our community and take care of each other. So love y'all.